But why are tax breaks quite popular, let's say, in the global south? Are they really imposed, or is it something that people agree to? Because following on that, I would then pose in advance right now, is it a cultural thing that we in the global south quite readily accept this trap of tax breaks to foreign investors?
Okay, so there are like 4 questions there.
Yes.
But I'll try and take the ones I can. If I forget any, you can let me know. So what I find fascinating when it comes to taxations, remember, these agreements are private, not public.
Yeah.
So I only get to hear about them through leakages. And then there's some civil societies that find information, they post them online. And then if you look at leakages of information,
Yes.
that's how I find
Yes.
this information. But this whole argument about give tax breaks to companies, it's usually companies, or it's high net worth individuals, comes from some kind of understanding that taxes are like a cost or an expenditure. Instead of seeing them as what they are, if a company invests in a country, then they're going to use the local infrastructure, they're going to use the roads, they're going to use the electricity, they're going to use the water services. Well, if you're going to use our airport, you're going to use our port. If you're going to use the domestic infrastructure, you should also contribute to the communal pool. But for some reason, countries were advised, and this is unfortunately decades ago, they were advised that they needed to give tax breaks in order to be competitive. Now, this may sound weird, but I am the first tax law professor in the country.
Yes.
I'm the first fiscal law professor on the continent. So if you want to look at capacity, I don't think people understood what they were agreeing to at a certain point.
Could I cut in and say, would somebody imagine that this was deliberate, that how can an entire continent not have produced capacity in this area 60 years after kind of departure of colonial occupiers? Just that it's a break in between so that you can continue.
No, I'm not a believer in conspiracy theories at that
Exactly.
level. I don't think so. But it's about when a country is ready for it, right?
Yes.
So you'll produce lawyers.
Yes.
But then you'll produce the specialized lawyers.
Yes.
So now we're in that space,
yes.
right?
Yes.
You'll produce the medical doctor, but then when will you produce the pediatrician?
Yes.
First, you have to have many medical doctors,
yes.
right?
Okay.
So I think that's probably where it has come from. I'm less. I don't think there's any diabolical plan for that.
Okay.
But somewhere along the way, they thought that tax breaks was something you could deal with.
Yes.
Now, over the years, many of the research entities have actually been checking to see, why does a company enter a country? Why does a company invest in a country? Companies invest because you have something they cannot get anywhere else. So it's either it's minerals, for example, you have oil, you have diamonds, whatever it is, or you have a very stable political climate. And in that list of 12, 15 choices, tax comes out as like number 6, number 8, or number 12.
Really?
Yeah. So this was like a fallacy. People thought if you made things less expensive, more people would come. But in reality, the number one consistent indicator is peace and stability. And then it's political peace and stability. And then it's lack of corruption. So there are other issues that are of a greater priority, which makes me think, like, why is everyone paying attention to my tax base? My tax base is not the answer. There's a different space where the answer is. So these are the sort of issues that I tend to look at and hope that people will sort of see the reality of where they live and then try and bring it together.